Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be looking at one interesting pattern named as thrust bar. This is a pattern in which we simply use the candlestick formation to see if there is a continuation or if the possibility of reversal is there. So we will be considering this formation to look for the bullish as well as bearish trend and the trading opportunities accordingly. So let us now head to the JForex Core, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. Here is the Euro USD chart with the each candle grid defined for the hourly time frame. To find this formation, all you have to do is quick search. Simply type in thrust bar and here it comes. Now this is a formation in which we have the continuation of the momentum. So this is mainly used as a continuation formation. We consider the price formation for the two consecutive candle, and if we look at the opening and the closing prices of these two candles, you will notice that if the first candle has closed higher or lower, it doesn't really matter. In the subsequent candle, there should be the opening price which is close to the closing price of the prior candle, and then there should be long move on the higher side. So whenever that happens, we get this continuation formation. In this case, this prior candle was in the red, its closing value was lower than the opening price, but in the subsequent candle, we are seeing substantial price move on the upper side. So that has given this thrust bar formation. If we look at the bearish opportunities, in this case, there was this decline and the same trend followed. If we look at the thrusting pattern, it is not much different from this, but we will be looking into the details of that in subsequent session. For today, we are mainly focused on this formation in which we can go for the continuation of the trend and look for the opportunities therein. So pay attention to the two consecutive candles, and if we have the strong reversal in the first and second candle, if the trend was bearish for the first candle and then there is a strong upper move in the subsequent candle, that is categorized as the thrust bar formation, the bullish thrust bar formation. And if the two consecutive candles form the continuation formation in which the closing price tends to be significantly higher for the first candle, and then in the subsequent candle the momentum continues in the same manner with the opening price being closer to the closing price of the first candle and then that trend continuing in the second candle also. In that case, it is again categorized as the bullish thrust bar formation. So here you can notice that on these multiple occasions we have this continuous formation of the thrust bar on the bullish side. For the bearish side, the requirements have to be reversed. We simply consider these first candle's move in which the closing price is lower, and then in the subsequent candle the opening price is fairly close to the closing price of the prior candle, but there is substantial move in the subsequent candle with the strong move, though it didn't really close that lower, but the volatility was quite good, and it continued to trade in the bearish manner with this move on the lower side continuing for these consecutive four candles. So this is also a case of continuous bearish thrust bar pattern. And if we have prior candle, the first candle closing with gains, and then the second candle, the decline has to be substantial as has happened in this time around. So only in that case, this formation is categorized as bearish thrust bar. So here you will get these all the options of looking to edit it. You can modify, you can customize. Of course, you can't really do anything with the input. The input parameter customization has been disabled as expected. This is a candlestick formation, and we can't really do anything with the candle formation that is simply determined by the market forces. So whatever is happening in that particular candle period, that is taken as given, and accordingly the formation simply takes into consideration the market pricing mechanism, and if it fits the criterion of this formation, then the recognition is given on the chart. We get this formation with the output being categorized as thrust bar bullish pattern or thrust bar bearish pattern, which is then colored accordingly: green for the thrust bar bullish pattern and red for the thrust bar bearish pattern. The use of this formation is simple. You can look to initiate the trade whenever there is this first appearance of the thrust bar bullish pattern for the buy trade. So in subsequent candle after this bar closes, which is going to happen in 11 minutes from now, if you get this confirmation of the thrust bar bullish pattern in the very next candle, you can start looking for the opportunities to go long. As there is the initiation point, you can expect this trend to continue for a while and maybe go on to make a fresh high on the levels beyond 1.07486, which is the immediate swing high. And also same tactic can be applied in a inverted manner for these thrust bar bearish pattern whenever there is this decline, and which is also being followed in the very next candle. You can start looking for opportunities to go short. Suppose if after this first appearance of the thrust bar bearish pattern, if you had gone in for the short sell trade somewhere around in this candle, you would have gotten around good move on the lower side as the price continued to trend downward. Then came this reversal, the formation of the bullish thrust bar pattern, but it didn't really hold much ground in the very next candle. This decline sustained, and in the very next candle, again we got this reversal. So, all in all, you can see that whenever the market is trending, this formation is going to help you make good amount of money. But if things go sideways, then you might encounter multiple loss-making trades, and to avoid that kind of scenario, of course, you will need some filtering mechanisms, some ways to figure out which particular trade to pick up and which trade to sit out. Then you will need to pair this formation, this pattern, with another criterion. Maybe you can go for the trend system. Other systems also you can use these in conjunction with your own other formations, so that will increase the possibility of being right rather than wrong. But whatever you do, of course, nothing is going to work all the time. We always have to keep that in mind, that things are going to go wrong from time to time, and all we can do is trade, keeping in mind that possibility, and trade responsibly. Always go for a sound risk management strategy along with these technical formations. Now let us see what we can do for output editing. We can't really do for anything for input. You can go for different color combinations. If you are not really a fan of this red and green combination, you can go for different color combinations. So all these options are there. So only thing that is needed is you need to remember what color you have assigned for the two different outcomes of this thrust bar pattern. You can even go for these two different styling combination. You can go for full shading of these candles, or you can simply go for the bracketing of the existing candle. I would prefer to keep it with the bracketing. If you feel that it is looking too prominent on the chart, you can lower the transparency factor, increase the transparency factor, not lower it, and accordingly you will have it looking much less prominent on the chart. Output, advanced editing option, recalculate on new candle only. So this is going to make not much difference. Even the second, highlight the time period zone, is also not going to impact much. Calculate from the custom data. This has been disabled show indicator on all the periods. So whenever you change the candle period of the chart on the chart, you will have this indicator showing up on all those formations. Suppose if you go for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 hourly, daily, whatever time frame you chose, you will have these patterns recognized on all these formations, all these time frames. But if you eliminate that, if you specify on particular candle period, these formations should be shown. In that scenario, the options have to be chosen here, 10 minutes hourly. So only on 10 minutes and hourly time frame, we will have these patterns recognized on the chart, and on other time frames we won't really have this formation. Here you can notice there is nothing being recognized on the chart. Okay, so you can always specify on which particular time period you want this to be recognized on the chart, and only on those time frames it will be recognized, or else you can simply opt for show indicator on all the periods, and it will be available on all the candle periods whenever you change the time frame from this option. That's how this system is going to work. So that's all from my side for today's session of these JForex indicators explained, in which we saw the concept, the underlying logic of these pattern, the thrust bar pattern, and I hope you were able to understand the principles and also some uses, some ways to use this formation to look for the opportunities in this dynamic market. So thank you all for joining in. Do write to me in feedback how you found this formation to be of help or no. Do write to me, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time around with a different formation, its uses, its concept explained in a very simple manner. So do come back.